Hello, dear friends. Good morning. Shabbat Shalom. How do you do today? Do you get a signal coming? Sandra, Cindy, can you hear us? Do you get a sound coming? I'm very happy to be here with you today. It's a very beautiful day here, a summer day. And I'm very happy to be here with you today. Good night, Philip from Australia. Would you like to say something, to ask something, to share something? Cindy, Sandra, Philip, you're most welcome. Sandra, did you receive the new book by Weinreb? Good morning, Megan. We are very happy to see you here. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, in chapter 4. That's a progress. Yeah, yeah. I'm very happy to be here with you. Do you have questions about things that you have read? Would you like to share something before we start? You're most welcome. No questions? Yes. Happy to be here with you. And this morning earlier, I posted a text which was written by Ramesh Balsekar. Ramesh Balsekar was an Indian teacher. I think he passed away at 208 or 209, yes. And there's a beautiful text which is read by American actor, I believe. And if you have the time, you can listen to the text. This is basically this is what we're speaking about in our sessions. Meaning there is no need to arrive anywhere. We are already here. And there's always like a basic question that people ask themselves, and what motivates people in their lives, even if they don't know or don't admit or don't inquire. Basically, most people would like to be happy. Yes? And the question is, how can we be just happy or just be and content? Because we were taught from young age that we are the generators, yes, of everything in our lives. And with the power of will, yes, we can steam forward, we can go forward, we can define any destination that we want and go for it. And this is how to live life. Or it is how life is expected to live. But a further discovery shows that this is not a way. Yes? We can still, yes, go for the day, not with intention to achieve something or to mark a goal. We can go through the day, just walk through the day in the mode of being, and still things will arrive or will accommodate us, or we shall find good things and good experiences, yes, without the intention or the notion that we are the doers, yes, because we were taught that we are the makers, yes, of our lives, yes. But further inquiry, if we really want to look at things like in depth, discovers that it's not like this at all. Yes, we came here, yes, without any consent. Nobody asked us where to come, in what time to come, to which kind of family structure, if, yes, and we received name. Yes, we were told that we were born somewhere or somewhere or in a certain time. And to this fact, so to speak, all kinds of details were gathered together, and those details together are marking, so to speak, the way of our lives or our storytelling, yes, or the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves, which is proven to be wrong. Yes. So in a way, there is no personal doership. There is no ego, because what we call ego is like some kind of action figure that has a name, has a body, and has a story, or I would say not ideology, but something that motivates this personal doer in life. But this is not true. This is completely not true. Is it easy to accept, or do you have a problem accepting this fact that we are not personal doers? Even if we do things now by hand, we can like make a salad, bake a bread or so at home. Our hands, so to speak, are participating. It is going, or the action is being done, yes, through bodies. But there is no personal doer, or there is no personal doership. Do we understand this concept before we continue? In this way, there is no frame, which is me against the world. Yes? Because we were educated, there's me, certain me, a story. It doesn't matter. John in England, Paul, yes, in New York, me versus the world. This is how we brought up, or till today. There's a me, certain me, that carries a name. Yes. Yes, living under pressure. Yes, this is it. This is it. This is it. Very good. Very good, Cindy. So there's a me. All of us grow with the same notion that there's a me, regardless of the name of this figure, male or female, or circumstances. And the me is always versus or against the world. Yes, there's a me figure, wakes up in the morning, goes out there to the world. So we can pull a cord, yes, or a line between me and the world, and there are two. Yes, any kind of me, John, Paul, Mary, Alex, and the world, so there are two. Yes, this is how we brought up. And John, Paul, or Mary goes, going to the world in the morning to get something from the world. Yes, so there's like Paul has to get something from the world. So there's the Paul and the world. And if he knows what he needs to achieve, he will go to the world and achieve it. And this is considered to be very good, successful, yes, life. But this kind of perspective puts a lot of pressure, yes, on the figure action. Because the figure action sees itself from the beginning in a battle between it and the world. I have to get something from the world. So in a way, there's struggling already in the stage of thinking. Before we leave the house, before we leave the doorstep, what do I have to get from the world? What do I have to achieve from the world? What is my aim today when I leave the doorstep? And there's already pull a thread, a distance between me and the world. While in reality of things, yes, in the core of things, there is no me and the world. There's only one. Yes, which means non-two, because if there's me and the world, yes, the me is an action figure and the world is the world, it means that there are two. And we are speaking about non-duality. Yes, not two. There is no me. Yes, but there's also, good morning, Abigail. So there is no me, but there's also no world. What does it mean? If there's no me, there's also no world. It means that us is one. Yes, we are different aspects, yes, of oneness in seasons, in occupations, yes, yes, in languages and cultures. Yes, there is no me and the world. There's oneness and different aspects of the oneness. Like, and this is the story of going out of Egypt, and this is why every year when people are celebrating Passover, the whole aim, or the whole, it's not even aim, the whole being of Passover is that there is no me and the world. Because if there's me and the world, there's Egypt. Me is a narrow concept, very, very narrow, and the world is also reduced to what I capture as the world. Yes, tennis player, for instance, yes, perceives the world in a different way than an author. They have, each one of them will define the world according to his perspective, and this is quite narrow. Meaning the tennis player, yes, this is his perspective. He looks for fields where he can play, yes, or get a good contract. Yes, an author has completely different perspective. So there is no action figure, which is very, very narrow perspective about the world, and also the world, which is perceived by this narrow action figure, is not perceived because there is no action figure to perceive it. Yes, Yanis Shabbat Shalom. Therefore, there aren't any two. There's no duality, there's no action figure, and there's no the world. So there is no Egypt in this, if we are speaking in the biblical terms. Yes? So there is no Egypt. And this is the celebration of Passover. This is why everybody's circling around one table. Mesubim is circling, yes? Mesubim circling around one table. Yes, circling, also surrounding, yes, or sitting, yes. Each one has the same distance from the center. There is no sense of a senior or a younger, a parent and a child, grandfather, and so. Everybody's equal because each one is representing the world or different manifestation of the world of the oneness. Because once, this is interesting to just to look before we look into the biblical story. Once we have a narrator or action figure, tennis player, author, let's say a teacher, yes, what else? A politician. Immediately, once there is a narrator, there is the world that he is active in, or there is a polarization between the action figure and the world. There's a teacher, so to speak, and there's a class. Yes, there's a tennis player, and the tennis field, or the opponent, or the rival, and so on. There are two. But this is non-duality. There is no what? Personal doership. This, all of us are different aspects of the one. Yes? Imagine that all of us are sitting somewhere, let's say drinking coffee in somewhere, in a coffee house or so, and people can pick a cup, each one can sit. And because what happens is when we are in the moment of happening outside, we tend to perceive ourselves that only I buy coffee because this is what we can grasp, the me that is like picking a cup, buying a cup of coffee. But once we are looking from not the me, the name, let's say Philip, Cindy, Megan that buys a cup of coffee, but we take back inside, and I'm also like an aspect, yes, of the manifestation of the oneness. What we can see in this coffee house is not me against the world, but different perspective, and everything, the experience, so to speak, the moment in the coffee house becomes much vaster and larger because there's an aspect of someone wearing a coat, maybe he came from the airport. There's an aspect of somebody rushing because so we can see in a way a vaster scene of life, not just me rushing. I have to pick this coffee and now I get to the soup. I have to do things and I not looking, not saying hello to someone. Yes. So many people are having anxiety attacks only from thinking that I have to leave the doorstep and go to the world, because in their mind there's already a war between them and the world. Yes, and none of these are those existing really. Yes, none of these. Yes. So there is no myself or me self. There is no myself. So we're just people, different aspects of lives or different aspects of what? Of perspectives. Yes, of different perspectives of life, different manifestation. We're sharing the same space. In this case, it was a coffee. Yes, there's somebody just coming from a bus. Somebody gives a lift to his friend, and she comes to pick coffee for both of them. And here comes a tourist bus. Yes, they just park to have a coffee, and now they leave. So there's not just me and my just the scope is much larger, and our life are what getting what longer. Do we understand that? That our life are getting longer and happier and healthier by just moving with the world. Yes, our life are getting longer. Yes, some people think that if they go to a plastic treatment, yes, they get younger or whatever. Yes, but that's the way. Yes, we're going with life, not against life, not against the world, but with the world. Okay, there's a mommy, there's a baby here. Something happened. She asked the bus driver to leave the back door another moment longer because she has to take the kinderwagen. So somebody helps her out. So life is completely different because we can experience not just our, so to speak, narrow narrative, but a large scope, a deep scope. Yes, we can live longer life, infinite life, if we just, let this wall of me, of selfing, falls. But this is also not in our hands. Yes, Shlomo? So everything goes. Life, life is happening. Yes, life is happening, and are being motivated or generated from the source. Life is happening through all of us. Yes, at the same time. They are being orchestrated from the source, from the origin. Some people call it God, consciousness. Yes? Everything is orchestrated. And if we're just pulling back, don't push the me story first, we can experience that. Yes? Because if we look really with open eyes, at the moment there are 8 billion people. Yes? So none of them, not mentioning the animals and fishes, birds, masters of wings, yes, nature and so on, planets also. all of those things are timed and orchestrated together. Yes? There's one consciousness. Therefore, to relax, because we are not, because what happens is in most of the cases or most of the time, people are getting anxious. And what if I, what if I don't manage? Yes. And everything will fall on me. Yes. This is what people are usually thinking, because they feel that their responsibility is only on their shoulders. Yes. So they get panicked. And if I wouldn't be able to go to the office, I have a fever and I don't want to say that I have a fever, and so people are entangled with this pressure. But there isn't any pressure, because it's not built on the doership of one, yes, action figure. Yes, yes. Hello, Adi, good morning. It is good to notice that, to space a bit when there's pressures which are coming from other people, to space it, yes. Just take take a distance from those pressuring elements, if they're even family members or so, slowly to phase out. It's not, yes, to notice this, to admit it, yes. Pressure, usually when we feel pressure from somebody next to us, the pressure comes from the false perception that someone can control someone else or circumstances or controlled environment. Yes? When we feel a pressure, yes, it is a consequence of somebody tries what? To create a controlled environment. Yes, this is why we feel like narrowed down to a certain function in somebody else's mind or brain. In communist societies, let's say Russia of the former century, they used to have a plan, 5 years plan, and they could plan in advance what will happen in the next 5 years. Yes, this is a control environment by fear. In communist surroundings, there is no sense of God or the source or the one, but we calculate. Yes, and according to calculation and to our graphs of growth, this is what's supposed to come in the next 5 years. Yes? So also comes with it a fear and pressure. Fear and pressure from controlled environment. Questions? There is no fear. Fear is, or anxiety is like invention. Yes, there is no fear. It's something that people use the term fear when they feel that they are no part of the world, of oneness. This is why fear comes as a barrier. There's something and me, and there's a fear. Yes? This is why the Bible speaks about the fear of Isaac. Yes, when Jacob swears in the fear of Isaac. YouTube audio is better? Yeah, good. If we feel during the day certain kind of stress or anxiety or fear or intensity, yes? So if there's intensity, some people mix those terms together, but if there's a certain moment of intensity, something is supposed to come out, yes, from us or through us, yes. There's intensity, yes, the source wants to bring forth something through us, so there's sense of intensity, of liveliness, yes. So we are just listening to what wants to come, and just it is will go anyways through us, yes. And if there's like fear or anxious from something, just pull back, relax. It is not coming from us, yes, from the source. It comes from selfing, yes. Because us is something which is unconditional, yes. Us being is unconditional. Can you give insight to this verse from David Psalms? Abeg, yeah, yes. Ereb kapseni me'avoni. Yes, yes. Wash me from my, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, different moments with David. Yes, David experienced the whole spectrum. Yes, yes. But to understand also that there's no, there's a beautiful. We have made a serious lessons about David, and to show that in a way one does not choose his life. Yes, the Zohar speaks about this a lot. How the Zohar pulls back the whole screen. I mean, the whole movie backwards and shows that Bathsheba had to be given to David and all of these things. They could not be together. He is not taking. There is no personal doership. He just asks. And this is also to connect to what Yanis asked, yes, the last few moments of the previous session about prayer. In the prayer, why do we need prayer for? Because it's something that happens naturally in nature. A prayer shows, this is interesting, the action figure, its limitation. What does a prayer reflect? Now, it doesn't matter which prayer and who prays. Yes? What is the frame of a prayer? To show, yes, the action figure that he is not in charge. In a way, they say that prayer in Hebrew, from palal, lehit palel, to pray, lehit palel, yes, to pray, come from the root palal, to incriminate. We say about criminal law. So the root of prayer is to incriminate. Is it? There's a verb like this in English, to incriminate oneself. 1 second, I'll check it. I'm checking the dictionary if I'm right in terms of translation. Laflil. 1 second. Lehaflil. Yeah, to incriminate, to condemn. Yes, this is what it means, those 3 letters. Yes, lehit palel, from palal, to incriminate, to condemn. So now, regardless of religions, of moments that we find ourselves even praying without a book, just wishing for something, what happens in the moment of praying is that the personal doer is incriminating himself, because the personal doer is the finite self. So he understands that he is limited. Therefore, there is a question or asking for something which is from the infinite. Do we understand the meaning of prayer, regardless of what is said in the prayer or who is praying? Do we understand the concept of a prayer? So who is praying? The finite self, asking from the infinite. Yes? This is what we were saying, Shlomo. Yes. Yes. This is what we were mentioning on Thursday, Shlomo, about, you mentioned Hamlet or plays by Shakespeare. We were speaking about the manna on Thursday, about Cincinnatus man, the manna jar. And we were saying that to each and every one, the manna is different. To some people, the manna is a play by Shakespeare. To some people, it's like a book by Dostoevsky. To some people, it's a good movie. They find the dialogue there brilliant. Yes? The manna, therefore, the manna is in a jar which is transparent. Yes? To each and every one, it is different nourishment. Each and every one of us needs a different nourishment or different words. Yes? Romans, yes. The origin of life is not just in the Bible. The Bible is a text that expresses this very clearly. Yes? Of course, it's not the only text. Of course not. So, what did we learn about prayer? Prayer comes from the finite self. Yes? The finite self captures itself as a limited acting figure and asks from the infinite, from the unlimited. Yes? So every prayer is basically incrimination or admitting of the finite self, a limited self, or acting figure. Yes, yes. The prayer comes from the body aspect, yes, bodily aspect, yes, yes, indeed. Very good, very good, very good. Yes, the stem letters of tefillah and prayer, the stem letters are palal, pei lamed lamed, very close to nafal, fall, falling. Yeah, the body is a falling entity submitted to gravity. Please pay attention. Palal and nafal. Pal. Yeah. There's a beautiful, many, many times in the Bible when people are falling to idolatry, not just in the Bible, but we speak about the Bible in this case, but why do you pray, yes, to trees and stones, yes? Mm. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is interesting, yes. Yanis, Elijah prayed for rain, and it rained. The value of Elijah is 52. Yes, this is the finite self, like 52 weeks in a year, finite, yes, time, which is asking from the infinite. So this is, yes, he asks from the living God. If we are looking at the words that he is using, yes, he's asking from the living God. Is there, yes, I would like to answer Shlomo. Shlomo says, in the prayers many times, God is appointed as Ata, you second person male. Bless you. Yes, Lord. Yes, it's not a person. This is what people are mistaken to understand. Yes. It's about what, Shlomo? God is not a person as people might think because they use the word you. It is about what? Presence. Presence. Do we understand the difference between person and presence? Do we understand the difference between a person and a presence? There is difference between a person and a presence. So, Baruch Ata, yes, bless you, Lord, or being, is bless you, what? The present moment, or the presence of the moment. Yes, there's a blessing for the present moment, not for a person. Yes, this is the ignorance of the people. Ignorance, yes, of the people who think that you is a person. Yes, you is not a person. If you read the Zohar, they will tell you that you is a Anpin. Yes, this is the presence. Yes, the presence. The divine presence. Some people think that they are alone in nature. Yes, because lack of awareness. Some people will feel the presence of nature. Yes, this is why in Japan they go for tree washing. Yes, people are hanging in the woods. Yes, to be where exposed to the presence without not limitation of urban life, so to speak. Yes. So whenever there's a blessing, bless you, yes, bless you God. It, the blessing is for the divine presence in the moment, not a person, but a divine presence. You can look at a tree and there's a wind blowing through the tree and through the bushes and the flowers, and it is more felt when there's a wind coming, a blow of wind. There's a presence. What could blow the tree or blow inside of us? Yes, how can we inhale, exhale, if not a divine presence is present? This is the whole point. There is no central person. This is the whole point. There is no center. This is it. Questions? Adi, Yanis, Sandra, Cindy, Megan, Philip, questions? So there is no personal doership. Yes, and all of us, yes, are different aspects of divinity. So when we go to life, yes, there is no opponent. We don't have to go against things. We go with things to the world, or not even to the world. We and the world are one. Yes? We are the world. There is no world outside of us. Yes, yes, there is no past or future, just now. There's only now. Yes. There is only now. Where do we breathe? Now. Yes, soul, neshama. Neshama is soul. Yes, soul. Yeah, neshima, breathing, is the same letters, are the same letters, but with additional yod. Breath. Yes. Where do we breathe? Now. Where do we are breathing in this moment? Can we, we can only live in the moment which we are breathing in. Do we understand that? Once there's someone thinking, this is the mechanical, about the past, or worrying about the future, this is something which is a fermented process. Yes? To think about the past, the narrative of the future, this is a mechanical process. We are logging out, so to speak, and yes, we are subjected to this fermented wine that the process of the brain is making. We can only be in the moment because only in the moment we are breathing. Do we understand why we can only live in the moment and there is no other moment than now? Do we understand? It's quite simple. We eat the bread which is baked today. We don't eat a bread which was made 10 years ago or will be made 10 years in the future. It's impossible. We are living now. We are inhaling, exhaling now. The present moment is now. Positive, yes, yes. There is, there is, that's interesting, yes. There is no father and there is no son. This is something that is hard for people to accept because this is the first unit of life. Yes, so there aren't any parents, and this is, yes, it is hard for people to accept. It is very hard for people to accept because they have attachment to people they grew next to. Yes, but each and every one is a stream of life, is different manifestation of consciousness. Questions? I wonder if you hear, Shlomo. I wonder if you hear or just writing, listening to your brain. Questions? Cindy, Yanis? Yanis, did you understand the frame of praying? What does prayer stand for? You have not really understood? Okay, okay. Prayer is a frame of thinking which basically incriminating the one who prays. And the one who prays is the action figure in us. Yes? Slowly. When you stop writing, you will also maybe start listening, Shlomo. Stop writing and try to listen. It's okay. It's okay. No self, so how can there be incrimination in the prayer? So, yes, in the basic of things, there is no self. Yes, but this is a process of revelation that there is no self. Yes, so in a way prayer is happening, yes, before there is the revelation. When people discover that there is no self, there's also praying stops. Yes, Megan? The yes, that we experience is an illusion. Yes, a mechanical process in the brain. Weinreb begins to talk about this in his book, Why the Duality Needs to Exist so that the one can be fulfilled, because man could not understand that everything is one until he could. Yes, 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 that's correct. Reflected in the other. Yes, that's correct. Yes, Cindy. Rachel Eve, I need something here and now. Yeah, this is the tree of knowledge. Yes, yes. So, as the Bible says, Bereshit, in the beginning, bara Elohim, yes, God created, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, yes, the heaven and the earth, and then we have two which are opposed each other, but each one will be reflected in the other. Yes, so there's one that splits into two, and then we see this. Yes, this is why the start or the beginning is with the two. Yes, yes. Why does, yes, I don't understand, Yanis. What does it really mean that when we say we have face? I don't know. Maybe trust God is to trust the infinite instead of trying to put our investment on a non existing thing or finite selfing. Trust the infinite. This is what it means, try to trust God. Or in God we trust. Yes, in America, in God we trust. Yes, it means we trust what? The infinite. This is the meaning of in God we trust. Yes, we trust the infinite. Not finite self, not governments, yes, not people that we know. Because many people, they have, or this is a form of idolatry, yes, but they believe that a certain president or a certain action figure in the family or in the office, they they can act better, they can do better, they have better decisions. Yes, of course, it's not right. It's a false presumption. Yes, all of those things are finite, except the infinite. This is why we say in God we trust, we trust in the infinite. Because we cannot see the plot or the story to its depths. We cannot calculate, even with this AI invention. We cannot. Yes? We can't. This is why we trust in the infinite, which is bigger and incomprehensible than finite self, limited in time and space. Yes? It's very simple. Why suddenly there's a like a wish in the infinite to be manifested as someone? Why? There's a wish, Allah baratzon, there's a wish, rising of the will that life will be manifested here, and there's a manifestation. Yes? It's like someone wishes to bake a cake. Comes an idea, Allah b'machshava, Allah baratzon, yes? Came into thought, came into wish. And suddenly he finds himself in the kitchen baking a cake. It's the same thing. The manifestation is called something. The infinite is called nothing. Yes? Manifestation is something. Yeshut, yes, there is something. Yes? Yes. 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 There's a beautiful verse from the Bible. Lehanchil leohavai, leohavai, yes, to inherit those who love me, the infinite, with something. Yes, yes. In Hebrew it means there is, meaning there's something, there's entity. Manifestation. Let's find the source. Lehanchil leohavai, yes. This is the speech, yes? To inherit those who love me, the infinite, with a manifestation. Yes? Let's find it. Yes. This is from Proverbs 8:21, Yanis. Proverbs, yes, 8:21. This is it. This is the wish of the infinite, to inherit us with manifestation. Otherwise, why would we appear here? Yes, yes, yes. There's in a way, only one prayer, that things will happen as they already are, or there's only one reality. So if there is acceptance that there's one source, so everything is aligned with the source. This is the only prayer that there is. When we don't need to worry about anything. Yes, Yanis. Proverbs 8. It says here, Mishlei, yes, Mishlei Chet, Kaf Aleph. So this is Proverbs chapter 8, 21. Do you have it? I'll try to find it. Sometimes it jumps up or down in the translation. Proverbs 8. I try to find it in a parallel version. 1 second. '21. Yes, here it is. This is why we came here. This is the reason for us to be here, this verse. Very good, Cindy. Excellent. I see that you're already there. Excellent. Because this is why we're here. To inherit us. Yes? With everything. Yes? This is the cause of our being here. Those who love, yes? Please pay attention that those who love, those that love. Yes, there are people who love themselves, the action figure. Yes, don't recognize the finite. I mean, they recognize themselves as finite self, but they don't recognize the infinite. So those who love is those. This is interesting. Yes, those who love, yes, have the sense of infinite. It's very simple. Because in love, like infinite, there is no border or no limitation. So it's very simple. You meet with certain people, you feel always like you're stepping on your tiptoes, not to bother them, not to make them angry. Everything is like under their control. If you might move from your chair, and so yes. And there you're next to people who don't consider themselves as action figure or limited in something, or don't try to control it, and you have certain different feeling at the moment from the presence, and this is basically it. It is very simple. When there's no limitation, you feel love. When there's limitation, you feel control. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. That's correct. That's correct. So, dear friends, thank you for coming here today for this beautiful session. I would like to wish all of you a very wonderful week ahead, and we can meet here on Monday at the same time. Thank you so much, and shalom.